Welcome to Vivid English Podcast. Hello, everyone. I am Sarah.
And I am James. Hello to all our listeners out there.
It's so good to be back with you today. How are you doing?
I am doing very well, thank you. Feeling really energetic and ready to talk about language. How are you?
I am fantastic. And I'm really excited about our topic. You know, usually when we talk about learning English, we're looking at things like grammar rules or vocabulary lists.
Right, the building blocks.
Exactly. But today we're doing something, well, a little different.
That's right. Today, we're not just looking at the blocks, we're looking at the music of English.
The music. I just love that description. We're going to explore how to sound more natural, more rhythmic, and honestly, just more like yourself in English.
Exactly. And even with all the incredible tech we have, the human voice is still our most powerful tool for connection.
So true. So, our mission today is pretty simple. We want to help you understand why the melody of your speech is often, well, more important than getting every single sound perfect.
Yes. We're going to break down the difference between pronunciation and intonation. We'll get into stress, rhythm, and how to link words together smoothly.
So let's get started. I want to ask you about this idea of accent versus intonation.
This is a wonderful place to start. It's really the foundation of everything.
Because a lot of our listeners worry so much about their accent. I hear it all the time. They think, oh, I can't pronounce my R perfectly, or my L sound is a bit off.
Right, and they get very stressed about it.
They do.
And those are all individual sounds. That's what we call pronunciation or your accent. Think of it as the instrument you're playing.
Okay, so the instrument.
Yeah, it's how you shape the vowels and consonants with your mouth. But intonation, that's different.
That's so.
Intonation is the sheet music. It's the rise and fall of your voice. It's the melody you play on that instrument.
The melody. So the up and down movement of my pitch.
Precisely. And here's the reality check, the thing that surprises a lot of students. You can have a very strong accent. You can keep your native identity in your voice.
Which is a good thing. We always say that.
It is a wonderful thing. It's part of who you are. But if your intonation is correct, people will understand you perfectly.
Really? So the melody is more important than the individual notes.
In many, many cases, yes. Confusion usually happens when the melody is wrong. If the music is flat or the rhythm is off, the listener's brain has to work so much harder to understand you.
That makes so much sense. So if I have, say, a French accent or a Japanese accent, that's okay.
That's absolutely okay.
But I need to sing the English song correctly.
That is a beautiful way to put it. You need to sing the English song correctly. If the song is right, the listeners will enjoy it, no matter what instrument you're playing.
I love that. Okay, so let's zoom in on the beat of this music. You mentioned word stress.
Yes, word stress. This is, without a doubt, the heartbeat of English.
The heartbeat. Why do you call it that?
Because English is what linguists call a stress-timed language. It has a very specific rhythm. Some languages, like Spanish or French, are syllable timed. Every syllable gets about the same amount of time. Da, 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 da.
Kind of like a machine gun.
Exactly. But English is different. It's more like Morse code. We have long sounds and short sounds, stressed and unstressed.
Okay. And what's the rule for this rhythm?
The rule is simple, but it's really important. In any English word with more than one syllable, one specific syllable has to be emphasized. It's the star of the show.
Emphasized how? What do I need to do with my voice?
It needs to be three things: louder, longer, and higher in pitch.
Louder, longer, and higher. Okay. Can you give us an example?
Let's look at a classic word family, the
Yeah.
word photograph.
Okay. Photograph, a picture.
Now listen where the stress is. Photograph.
Photograph. It's right on the first part.
PHO is loud and long.
Yeah.
You really stretch it out. The other syllables are quick and quiet. Photograph.
Got it. But what happens if we change the word a little? What about the person who takes the pictures?
Ah, now the word changes. It becomes photographer. The stress moved to the second syllable, TO.
It sounds like a totally different word. The faux at the beginning got really small.
It does. I like to think of it as the shape of the word. If you use the wrong stress, you change the shape, and the listener's ear isn't expecting it.
So if I said photographer with the stress at the beginning,
A native speaker might get confused for a second. It would sound wrong. Their ear is waiting for the shape photographer.
that's fascinating.
And this leads us to what I like to call a secret weapon.
Ooh, a secret weapon. I like the sound of that.
It's a sound, a very small but very, very powerful sound. We call it the schwa.
The schwa. Sounds mysterious.
It is the most common sound in the entire English language.
The most common. Really? What does it sound like?
It sounds like a very weak, very lazy. Well, for one part to be the hero, the other parts have to step back. They have to be the supporting cast. These unstressed syllables often turn into the schwa sound.
Can we hear an example? I want to hear this lazy sound in action.
Let's take a common yellow fruit.
A banana?
Yes. Now, how would a robot say that word if every syllable was equal?
A robot would say BNNA.
Right. It sounds very flat, very unnatural.
It actually sounds kind of aggressive, weirdly.
It does. Now, let's apply the stress and the schwa. The stress is on the middle syllable, NA.
Okay. NA. That's the loud part.
So, since the middle is loud, the first and last syllables become quiet. They become the schwa. So the word sounds like banana. Do you hear that? The first sound isn't a strong BA, it's just a tiny.
And here's a huge tip for our listeners. If you want to sound less robotic and more natural instantly, master the schwa. That's great advice. So don't try to pronounce every single letter perfectly. Just relax on those unstressed sounds.
Be brave enough to be lazy with the unimportant sounds.
Yes, I can definitely be lazy. Okay, so we've looked at single words, but we speak in sentences.
We do. And just like words have a heartbeat, sentences have a whole rhythm. We call this sentence stress.
And does this work the same way?
It's similar. But here, the stress can actually change the entire meaning of what you're saying.
Oh, this is where it gets really interesting. Changing the stress changes the story.
Completely. Let's try a little exercise. I've got a sentence for us to play with.
Okay, I'm ready. What is it?
The sentence is, I did not say he stole the money.
I did not say he stole the money. Okay, 7 words.
Now, I want you to say it, but put all the stress, make it louder and longer on the very first word, I.
Okay, here we go. I did not say he stole the money.
Good. I did not say he stole the money. What does that mean to you? What's the hidden message?
It sounds like I'm defending myself. Like, I didn't say it. Maybe you said it, or maybe she said it, but it wasn't me.
Exactly. The focus is on who said it. Now let's try another one. Same sentence, but this time stress the word stole.
Okay. I did not say he stole the money.
I did not say he stole the money. How does the meaning change now?
Hmm. Now it sounds like maybe he just borrowed it. Or maybe he just took it by accident, but stole is too strong.
Right. You're not denying he took the money, you're just denying the way he took it.
That is wild. It's the exact same sentence, same words, same order, but the meaning is completely different just because of the music.
It is. This is why intonation is so critical. If you stress the wrong word, people might misunderstand your actual intention.
You really have to be careful where you put that spotlight.
You do. Think about the most important new information in your sentence. That's usually where the stress goes.
Okay, let's move on to something that I know frustrates a lot of learners. Speed.
Yes. The speed of native speakers, it's a classic problem.
My students are always telling me native speakers talk so fast, it just sounds like one long blur of sound.
It can definitely feel that way.
Hmm.
But here's a little secret. It's usually not just about speed.
It isn't.
No, it's about linking.
Linking, as in connecting things together.
Exactly. Native speakers do not pronounce every word separately with a little space in between. We glue them together,
Like a chain.
a very smooth chain. The most common type is when a word ends in a consonant and the next word starts with a vowel.
Okay. Can we break that down with an example?
Sure. Let's take a common phrase. Check it out. 3 words.
Check it out.
It sounds very slow and choppy.
Very unnatural.
But native speakers push that final consonant sound onto the next word. So the K in check moves over to it.
So it becomes chick-kit.
Exactly. And the T in it moves over to out. So it all becomes one long, smooth word. Check it out.
Wow. It really does sound like one strange word.
It does. And that's why learners struggle. You are listening for 3 separate words, but you are hearing one long connected sound.
That is a huge aha moment. It's not just that people are speaking faster, it's that the spaces between the words disappear.
Exactly. This is what creates that smooth flow of natural English. It's all about connected speech.
So the tip for our listeners is try not to stop after every word. Let them flow into each other.
Yes. Keep the air moving. Don't stop your breath between words.
Now, looking at the calendar, it's 2026. Technology has changed so much for language learners.
Oh, it's been incredible to watch. The tools we have now are just amazing.
You mentioned there are some new tools that can actually help with the music we're talking about.
Yes. We now have things like real-time waveform feedback.
Real-time waveform feedback, that sounds very high-tech.
It is, but it's also very simple to use. Basically, these AI tools let you see your voice.
You can see what you're saying.
You can. You speak into an app, and it shows your voice as a wave on the screen, a line going up and down.
And what's the benefit of that?
Right next to your wave, it shows you the wave of a native speaker saying the same sentence.
Oh, that's brilliant. So you can compare them side by side.
Precisely. You can literally see the music. You can look and say, oh, look, my line is flat right here, but the native speaker's line goes way up high.
So you can actually see where you missed the stress.
Yes. You can see if your pitch is too flat and robotic, or if you're not linking words where you should be. It connects what you hear to what you see.
That must be so helpful. Sometimes it's hard to hear your own mistakes, but seeing them would be different.
It's a game changer. It helps you see the music you're trying to produce.
I love that. Using 2026 tech to master the ancient skill of speaking.
It's a great time to be a learner.
It really is. Well, we have covered so much today. Accent versus intonation, word stress, the schwa, sentence stress, linking.
The whole orchestra.
Haha, yes. If there is one main philosophy, one final thought you want our listeners to take away from all this, what would it be?
I think it all comes down to this: clarity over perfection.
Clarity over perfection. Tell me more about that.
Your goal should not be to sound exactly like a specific native speaker from a movie. It's not about hiding your identity or erasing your native accent.
Right. We always say be proud of where you're from.
Absolutely. The real goal is clarity. You just want to make sure your message is received by the listener easily without them having to work hard to understand you.
Without effort. That's the key phrase. You want to make it easy for them to listen.
Yes. And, I have to share something personal. Even as a native speaker, I have my own way of talking. I used to feel that my particular accent or my voice was a weakness in some situations.
Really? Even you?
Oh, yes. We all have those insecurities. But now I see it as my flavor. It's just part of what makes me me.
That's a beautiful way to think about it. Your flavor.
And it's the same for every learner out there. Your native accent is your flavor. Don't try to erase it completely.
I agree 100%. Just make sure the music is right.
Exactly. Keep your flavor, but learn the melody.
That balance is so important.
It is. So I guess my final motto for today is find your rhythm, find your flow.
Find your rhythm, find your flow. I think I'm going to write that on a sticky note for my desk.
Please do. It's a great reminder for all of us.
This has been such an enlightening conversation. I feel like I'm going to be listening to everyone differently now, listening for the music.
It really does change how you hear the world. Once you start noticing intonation, you hear songs you never knew were playing.
Well, thank you so much for breaking this all down for us. It was incredibly helpful.
It was my pleasure. I always enjoy exploring the details of the language with you.
And to our wonderful listeners, thank you for spending your time with us today. We know you're busy, and we really appreciate you choosing to learn with us.
Yes, thank you so much for tuning in. It is always a joy to share these ideas with you all.
Please don't forget to subscribe and catch our next episode on the Vivid English podcast. We have so many more exciting things planned for 2026.
Yes. Be sure to tune in to Vivid English Podcast next time. You won't want to miss what's coming up.
Have a wonderful day, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.